My name's Jeffrey Michael Bays. I'm the author of Between the Scenes, available in bookstores everywhere. Anyone who has ever played chess knows the importance of contrast. Chess is a game in which you have light and dark pieces, and you put them on a board with light and dark squares, and because of the contrast between light and dark, you know where to put your pieces, and you can start to think about your next move. But what would happen if your entire chessboard was white and all of the pieces were white? All of a sudden, all of your thought process would go into which piece is mine and where can it move? And you would have no time left to think about strategizing your next move. The same thing is true in storytelling for the cinema. You don't want your film or your screenplay to be like the white chessboard. When you put one scene next to another, you want contrast, and these are called binary oppositions. And the most basic contrast you can create is indoor to outdoor, night and day, chaos and calm. The audience perceives a change in location, and they know there's a new scene. You can also create contrasts in wardrobe and costumes, and I go into more of that in my book. Somebody from one of my classes suggested that if you go from a nightclub to a church, that would also be a binary opposition. Now, while that's true from an intellectual standpoint, visually, there's not much change, and in fact, you'll probably fall back on your basic chaos versus calm or loud to quiet. Let's take a look at a famous transition from 2001: A Space Odyssey, a classic from Stanley Kubrick. See if you can find all the binary oppositions from one scene to the next. Now, the first scene is on Earth millions of years ago, and the second scene is in space in the future. And so with the scene transition, we bridge millions of years of time. And of course, the advancement of the human race. So the most obvious difference between these two scenes, that one is on Earth, on the ground, and the other is in outer space, in orbit above the Earth. We've also gone from chaos to calm, we've gone from loud to quiet, and we've gone from past to future, and we've gone from no music to music. That music adds to the pleasantness and the sophistication of this futuristic technological world. Now, what Kubrick has done here is he has created this sense of peaceful technology that the future has in store for us. But we feel it because we've just gone through all of this chaos from all these apes. So that contrast has created that sense for us. Now, if he had just started the movie with the space scene, then we wouldn't feel it quite the same way because we didn't have that contrast. So at the basic level, binary oppositions serve a comparative function, one scene against its opposite. And if the shift is fast enough, you create an emotional jolt as well. If we take a look at this example from James Cameron's Titanic.
Oh, yes. The woman in the picture is me.
So what happens is you create a sort of punctuation and a sudden absence that provokes thought, and it also provokes emotion. And this transition is a really good example of what I call the echo line at the end of one scene. It's the last line that is spoken by a character, and then you cut away from that scene, and so that line stays with us, and we keep thinking about it.
The woman in the picture is me.
And this becomes really important in comedy, creating punctuation. That's where you get your laughs. Here's an example from the classic from 1963, It's a Mad, 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 Mad World. So in this scene, Spencer Tracy is building the rhythm of his comedy. He's just getting more and more exaggerated as the scene goes on. And then suddenly we cut away at the moment that the absurdity peaks so that we get a laugh out of it.
Are you listening to your mother?
Billy Sue, your mother is speaking.
Listen to your mother, sweetie.
Billy Sue?
Billy Sue, listen to your mother!
And of course, these examples are only the beginning. There are so many other possibilities.